Receiving simulator transmission. Uploading transmitted feed. Initializing playback sequence. Alright Seipher, we're ready.
Hey everyone, Seipher here, and welcome back to Seipher Plays Yugioh, Reshef of Destruction. In the last episode, we set out on the penultimate leg of our ancient Egyptian scavenger hunt. Our search for the 6 of the 7 items saw us flying to the Galapagos Islands, where we quickly encountered the sea and insect duelists, Mako Tsunami and Weevil Underwood. After dueling those two, we headed to the center of the island, where we found Yami-Yugi, or the Pharaoh, recovering the Millennium Scales. Or at least, that is what Sol Chevalsky wanted us to believe, as it was really another of Sol's operatives, the dreaded Mimic of Doom. We managed to defeat this wicked clown and recover the scales, but were soon met with the tragic outcome of Slifer and presumably Obelisk being returned to stone. This time, while I would like to get on top of restoring Slifer as soon as possible, something appears to have happened to Tristan. Or at least that's what his dog Lucky appears to be telling us, seeing as Ishizu doesn't think we're strong enough for the challenge ahead and is still thinking of a plan for how to restore the Egyptian gods and ultimately recover the Millennium Puzzle, I assume, since that's probably the only way that we can restore them. We're going to be handling whatever's going on with Tristan now, so let's head on down to the game shop. Arf, 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 arf. Lucky, what's wrong? Hey, Joey. Seipher, Yugi, and Joey. Is Tristan around? I don't see him. Tristan. Is something wrong? What? Did something happen to Tristan? Serenity, tell me, what's happened to Tristan? Joey? Joey, Tristan isn't here. Duh, I can see that. So where is he? Ookie! Oh, this monkey. Ookie, ookie, ookie. Arf, arf, arf. Arf. Ookie. Arf, arf. Ookie, ookie. I read that monkeys and dogs don't get along. But this monkey and Lucky seem like best friends. It can't be. This monkey robot. Could it be Tristan? Oh boy. Really? Tristan turned into a robot? Lucky is Tristan's dog, and it's getting along great with this robot. That's all the proof I need. Okay, Duke, I thought you were supposed to be this game designer and businessman. What the heck? I guess so. I don't really have much of a problem with you. You're like 12 to 14 at most. You're probably not thinking straight. And this may be another repercussion due to Reshef's resurrection. Okay, that's a bit of a stretch. How? Who other reason can you think of? I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be what other reason? I mean, if this was the virtual world, I wouldn't be surprised if Tristan turned into a monkey. But a guy can't turn into a robot in real life. I guess so. But if this is true, Tristan might never regain his human form. Okay. Tristan! Tristan! And that's what happened. Big brother. I saw this look on Tristan's face. It was as if he was saying that he didn't want anyone to follow him. I wonder if he's going to be okay. Don't worry about a thing, Serenity. Tristan's a friend. There's no way we'll abandon him. We'll look for him, but I want you to stay here, Serenity, just in case he comes back. Alright, so that is probably the most ridiculous plot for a side quest, but hey, it's at least a bit of fan service for those of the anime who enjoyed filler arcs, because this is referencing the events of the Virtual World arc. Anyway, seeing as the only people that we know that are connected to the Virtual World arc, besides ourselves, are the Kaiba brothers, we had better head off to Kaiba Corp HQ. Okay, Mokuba, what can you tell us about these robot monkeys? My big brother turned Tristan into a monkey? That is the nuttiest thing I ever heard. I would Seto do that. But that reminds me, we made monkey robots, but they never sold well. I think we donated them to some island. Well, that doesn't exactly clear it up, but considering we just came from an island and it's the only real island besides Japan that we can travel to, I would say we better go check the Galapagos. Mako, have you seen any monkey robots? There's a cartload of monkeys around. They're in the rainforest. Okay, I guess this is a rainforest. Uki! Uki! Ukiki! Ukiki! Uki! 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 Look at all the monkey robots. It's impossible to tell which one is Tristan. It does seem a little weird that the Kaiba Corporation would make these monkey robots into toys, but whatever, I guess. Uki! 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 Ki! Ki! And we're being challenged to a duel. Well, I can't say that I expected... Well, actually, I can't really say that. I did expect this, because, let's face it, every situation in this world is dealt with a children's card game. Anyway, time to get to business. Robot monkey business, that is. This robot monkey keeps a rather simple deck. He has no tribute monsters whatsoever, and his non-tribute monsters have between 750 and 1300 attack. So let's just start off with a Swarm the Field with our Ancient Lamp, and we'll have Negate Attack, which actually replaced another card in the Tolerable Reshef patch, although it did the same thing, called Infinite Dismissal. Although, actually, I think that is honestly not a good call on the creator's part, because Infinite Dismissal only affects one monster that attacks, whereas Negate Attack is supposed to just end the battle phase entirely, and it functions like Infinite Dismissal, so it's pretty weird. Oh, shoot. Well, that's my bad. His monsters are varied in attribute, but they are mainly of the machine and beast types, go figure, since he's a robot monkey. The beasts are a bit more dangerous due to receiving the power boost from the forest terrain that we're fighting on. He has no traps to speak of, but he is carrying a few field wipe cards like that Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, and Final Destiny, so we have to be a little careful. Let's put our Castle of Dark Illusions in defense mode so that we can get a darkness field going. And power up our own monsters. It is going to be a little annoying with that effect going off every time, but oh well. We'll just make do with what we've got. Thankfully, this shouldn't be too much trouble. I haven't changed around my deck at all since last episode, just because I couldn't go to the card shop without triggering that scene, so we'll be on our own for a little bit, I think. But we should be fine. Just one more attack ought to do it. Alright, the opponent is out of LP, dual victory, deck capacity increased by 10, 1000 domino, blast juggler. Not all that great at this point. Okay! I get it. The monkeys think we're stealing their bananas. Okay, that doesn't really make sense considering they're robots, Yugi. That's why they're challenging us to a duel. These monkey robots can duel? Yeah, I just dueled one, Joey. Keep up. I've got it. Seipher. I know how we can find which one is Tristan. Tristan is a total amateur when it comes to dueling. So all we need to do is duel these monkey robots. The weakest one is Tristan. I suppose there is some logic to that. He does have a pretty bad deck. Although, who knows if he got any new cards between his transformation, and yes, you can hear the air quotes around that, and now. Yeah, I'm using my noodle. Let's try dueling them, Seipher. Alright, so we have to duel a bunch of robots, so let's start with this one. Uki! 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 Alright. The second monkey swaps his board wipe cards for direct damage cards like Final Flame and Hinotama, otherwise he is basically the same as the previous duelist, so let's just get set up. I'm actually rather grateful that we don't have any board wipe cards to worry about. We'll defend with that, attack with our blue eyes, and use the effect of our revival jam to swarm the field. We should be pretty much set at this point. Amazon Archers powered that down, good. Okay, and Man-Eating Treasure Chest will take that out. And rather easy to deal with, thankfully. Dual victory, deck capacity increased by 10, 1000 domino. Mystical Sheet number 1. That's at least a little better, but not really. Okay. This one's way tougher than Tristan. Let's challenge another one. And on to the third. This monkey robot has swapped the spell cards for a variety of traps, bottoming out at bear traps, so be prepared for potential losses of monsters. Thankfully, I seem to have done at least a few good cards. Could definitely make use of that Harpy's Feather Duster I added. Okay, good thing I used Frog the Jam, that would have been very weak. Okay, let's do this. Thankfully, I am getting rid of a lot of their... Okay, that got rid of all of his traps since I didn't have the Harpy's Feather Duster in my hand, so that helps. Although I wish I still had the monsters. But oh well. Ooh, that's not good. Thankfully, we have just the thing we need to take care of that. And we can get some solid damage in on him. He has his own Toadmaster to swarm the field. Alright, well, let's just hit him as hard as we possibly can. I did add that Swords of Revealing Light as well. Not really necessary at this point, but I might as well have it for later because there are going to be duels where we're going to need to be able to have a bit of a reprieve. And taken down. Good. Cool victory. Another 10 deck capacity, 1000 domino. Another blast juggler. Ookie! This one's still too strong to be Tristan. Try challenging another one. Well, there's no more out here, so let's head into the temple. Uki? Why are you running? Are you Tristan? Uki! We'll know for sure after we duel. So, let's take on this last monkey. Okay. Our final duel against the quartet of robotic chimps is thankfully a breeze. This one uses an exact copy of Tristan's bottom of the barrel deck, and does not have a field power bonus to speak of. So, could this actually be Tristan? Well, while we figure that out, I want to actually have a question of the day segment now. Since our opponent is so weak, we might as well kill the time by asking you guys a question and answering it myself on my end. For the original Yugioh, which one is your favorite filler arc? Deciding to ask since we're dealing with a lot of robots based on content from the virtual world filler arc. As for me, while this is probably a bit edgy for me, despite the large amount of nonsense in the arc, my favorite filler arc is the Waking the Dragons arc. I feel like it ratcheted up the tension largely because of how 4Kids censored death in the anime by creating the Shadow Realm. So it made the Orichalcos' ability to steal souls and basically put the world towards doom a lot more high stakes, in my opinion. Let's go with this next. Yeah, let's just get rid of that, and we'll just attack with all of our monsters. Easy peasy. Dual victory. Deck capacity increased by 5, so not even about on par with what we'd get from Tristan. 1000 domino, so better than what we'd get from Tristan. And House of Adhesive Tape, that is a very pitiful trap card for this point in the game. Ooh, Ookie. This monkey's lousy. There's no doubt about it. You're Tristan, aren't you? Howl twice if it's true. Ookie! Ookie! Man, look at ya. How could Kaiba do this to you? I mean, Duke blamed it on Reshef, but you guys are blaming it on Kaiba. I mean, I don't like the guy. He's very arrogant, and he doesn't exactly have the best manners, despite being raised by upper crust society. But come on, man. Let's not blame him for something that is obviously not his fault. Let's take him back to the town of Domino. Tristan! Uki! I'm so glad you found him. Hey, Tristan, that's enough. Get away from Serenity. Why, you... Stop, Joey! Hasn't Tristan suffered enough already? Yeah, but... Uki! Uki! You're starting to tick me off, Tristan. Oh, that monkey robot? Grandpa, this monkey robot is actually Tristan. Yugi, what on earth are you saying? I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. I'll prove it to you. Tristan, if you can understand me, how 3 times? Uki, uki, uki ki. And that's all she wrote. What's the matter, Grandpa? You kids are too much. That monkey robot was one of the products I was selling in my store. But since no one bought it, I was playing with it. But it understood everything I said. That's because I programmed it so it would. I was wondering where it went, but I'm glad to have it back. Come on, monkey robot, let's go back to the shop. Hi guys, what are you all doing here? I mean, Tristan, you only ever spend your time out here. Huh? What? Why are you all looking at me weird? You, where in the world were you? I had the munchies, so I went out for some food. You idiot. After we went ape over you? What are you talking about? Then this monkey robot is really just a robot? Yeah, that's what I've been saying for the entire time, but whatever. Ookie ki ki ki. That's what you get for monkeying around. Serenity, really? Enough of the bad puns. Yeah. Nice one, Serenity. And with that, we have completed the longest of these side quests in Reshef of Destruction. Anyway, now that we've taken care of this odd little detour, we can rush back to Domino Square to see if Ishizu will direct us further. But I want to actually make use of the password machine, since now that we have access to the Moto Game Shop, we can actually access it again. We could technically have done this as soon as we finished the first scene of this side quest, but I didn't want to do that because I wanted to see how far we could get without Slifer, but seeing as there were a bit of times where maybe we could have had nothing to do if we didn't get lucky with our draws, I want to get some new cards. I should also point out that now we can duel the monkey robot at any point. I think he still has the same deck as Tristan, so probably not the best opponent to face, but oh well. Anyway, get out of the way, Joey. Hello, I am the password terminal. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna spend 2,000 domino for 2 passwords. These are going to be for tribute monsters that are very helpful. 5383 9837 is the first one that we're going to do. This gets us Vampire Lord, a 2,000 attack point zombie fiend monster. If this card is in its own graveyard at the start of your turn, it'll resurrect if there is room on your field. So it is a very powerful card. You can just ditch it in the graveyard, and if you assume that you will not lose any monsters, you will get this thing back for free, and it'll come back every turn. Gets a power boost from the Yami field, so it'll be very helpful. However, the main card that I want to get from this session is even more powerful than that, in my opinion. And it's going to take the password 137222870. And that gets us Dark Flare Knight, a pretty decent warrior monster. Its defense is not great. Its stats are a little okay for a 1 tribute monster. There are better, but where this thing really shines is in its special effect. When this card is sent to the graveyard, it can automatically summon a Mirage Knight, which has 2,800 attack, so pretty powerful. And then that thing's effect at the end of the turn that it's survived to will split it into Dark Magician and Flame Swordsman, or just Dark Magician if you don't have enough space on your field. It is a very powerful card and pretty much a prerequisite to finishing the game in the vanilla, especially seeing as you can discard cards directly from your hand in this game. So I want to make sure that I get those. So let's actually sort by attribute, and we will find... There's Vampire Lord, only one in the shop, so we'll buy it. And no, you've got 2 copies. Well, I'd be a fool not to get both of them, so let's do that. Alright, well, I will add those to my deck off screen. I have to do a bit of shifting around and maybe dueling to increase my deck capacity to fit all 3 of them. But with that, let's quickly talk to Ishizu to get our next marching orders. You have returned at the right time. To restore the Egyptian god cards from stone, we need the Millennium items. But we tried that already. It didn't work. That was because the items were too weak. We need all the Millennium items in one place. If we have them all, the Egyptian god cards will be restored. All the Millennium items? Yes, all that remains is the Millennium Puzzle. Have no fear. I have an idea of its whereabouts. I will retrieve the Millennium Puzzle. That's a bit weird considering you've sent us to collect the other 6. Ishizu, you don't have to go. Let us handle it. I have a different task for you. A different one? Ra and Slifer were not the only Egyptian god cards that turned into stone. Kaiba's Obelisk the Tormentor must have turned into stone as well. Yeah, I did say that, but frankly, I can see what you're going to ask of us, and frankly, you would probably have a better chance of convincing him, and that's saying something. Please find Kaiba. We need to bring the 7 Millennium items and the 3 Egyptian god cards together. Only then can we fully restore the Egyptian god cards. Well, I don't think that's gonna go any way but terribly for us, but I guess I have no other choice. We have our marching orders. Next time, we'll head to Kaiba Corp HQ to see Kaiba about gathering the Egyptian god cards together. I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, stay gold.
Playback sequence terminated. Transmission disconnected.